Most people are familiar with the outrageous mass genocide committed by members of the Third Reich, like Adolf Hitler during and before World War II. However, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin is sometimes left out of this list of horrible mass murderers. Stalin's complete disregard of respect for human life was far more brutal and terrible than Adolf Hitler's actions ever were. Thank you for joining us on today's special episode of Crimes Against Humanity. This is World War II in the Eyes of the Beholder. Throughout Adolf Hitler's 12 years in power, he managed to kill an astonishing estimate of around 20 million people through starvation, concentration camps, executions, and many more. These mass killings were definitely horrible. However, Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin may have been associated with even more killings than the famed Adolf Hitler. Stalin's mass killings may have not been all intentional. Stalin was a passionate communist leader supporting and caring about the well-being of the state and not its people. However, Stalin's neglect of his people led to the death of many civilians by starvation, disease, overworking, and horrible living conditions. True numbers of these horrible mass killings by Stalin are very hard to attain. However, after compiling the few available sources on this subject, historians are able to estimate that around 6 to 20 million people were killed by Joseph Stalin. However, due to the lack of recording so long ago, and especially in the Soviet Union, it would be easy to suggest that Stalin was directly associated with upwards of 60 million deaths. However, the sources that suggest this amount were mostly pre-1990 sources before important World War II numbers were completely unclassified. This may have greatly overestimated the overall total. A more recent study in 2010 suggests the number may fall closer to 6 million deaths. Stalin himself, in a conversation with Winston Churchill, allegedly claimed to some 10 million deaths at his command. These deaths can partly be attributed to the communist government using many resources on themselves or the military when many people were suffering. This caused many severe famines. Although Hitler killed many innocent men, women, and children not only in Germany, but all around the world, his respect for the fighting class of Aryans was far more than Stalin's respect for the average fighting Soviet. Stalin often sacrificed units in knowingly fatal battles, seeking some small gain at the loss of many men and supplies. Stalin cared less about the lives of his civilians and more about useless temperamental gain, like land and political power. Along with this, during World War II, the communist government of the USSR, much like the German Nazis, sought to eliminate the weaklings of the world and people of different beliefs. Homosexuals, prostitutes, the mentally ill, and even Nazis were all looked down upon and often abused by Soviet high command. This abuse went as far as killing as many defected people as the government saw fit in the name of righteousness. Purges like these were seen before World War II, but even more during World War II, when Russia was already at war and these mass killings could be masked by the efforts and the goings-on in the war around them. Not to mention, Germans were often killed by Soviet generals and their leader Joseph Stalin for simply being associated with the Nazi race or being untrustworthy, despite their relation to the German state or the military. Stalin's hate for the non-perfect Russian civil was oftentimes released upon innocent people groups, or people who had committed state crimes, however, not quite worthy of a death penalty. Both Stalin and Hitler killed many innocent people. However, Stalin's murderous tendencies expanded far beyond Hitler's outrageous actions. Likewise, Stalin's paranoia led to the murders of many among the Soviet leadership, something which also differed from Hitler's approach. In the years leading up to World War II and even after World War II, a great sense of governmental threat was felt amongst the people of the USSR. Superstitions regarding betrayal and assassinations haunted Stalin's anxious mind. Many Soviet citizens, military leaders, and politicians were killed for being suspicious or a threat to the communist government. Innocent Soviet officers were killed in mass killings for nothing more than questioning an officer or for suspicious past experiences. Not only did this kill thousands of innocent men, around 700,000 to be exact, this irrational purge eliminated the Russian military of all good and wise generals and officers. If these other sources are correct, Stalin may have only killed around 6 to 11 million people to Hitler's 20. However, the actions of both were completely unacceptable and are often forgotten. In reality, every single one of those deaths was a mother, father, sister, brother, or other close relative. Overall, Stalin's pride, greed, and uneasy mind brought about the deaths of many innocent people in the name of the Russian state and communism, and Hitler did in the name of purifying the world. The fear and havoc Stalin distributed amongst the people of the world far surpasses that of any mass genocide Hitler ever committed or ordered. Stalin's continuous killings would torment many people long after World War II and his death. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Crimes Against Humanity. It was very enjoyable to film, and I hope that you liked it as much as I enjoyed making it. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell to let you know whenever we put out new videos. Drop a comment below about what you think about this video and if you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of World War II in the Eyes of the Beholder. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.